Our adventures have taken us all over the world, witnessing beautiful landscapes and meeting amazing people.
Hello guys.
But it's always a special and different kind of feeling when I get to photograph a new animal. From deer in Scotland, mountain goats in Austria, to puffins in the Faroe Islands and chasing kangaroos in Australia. This week we're in Slovenia on a mission to catch a glimpse of the king of the forest. Now, Slovenia is actually a very good starting point because it's home to over 1,000 bears, with more than half of them living in the Notranska forest and the Kočevje region, which is where we're headed now. Now, this is Camp Jezero, where we're staying this week, right beside this beautiful lake here. And when we arrived yesterday, it was absolutely stunning. Really, really beautiful spot. I'm not gonna lie, I know nothing at all about bears. I ain't got the faintest clue where to find them, and more importantly, how to keep safe if I do see one. So that's why we need the help of a local. And not just any local.
My name is Michal Gorelec. I'm the main tourist guide for bear observation and wildlife in this area. I'm a forester by education, and my passion always was also wild animals.
Before we left the campsite, Michal explained some of the basics and showed me the route we'll be taking and the different forests we'll be visiting today.
So we also have a small gift for you. Water bottle, a nice t-shirt, tracking guide, and a local handmade bear necklace, which is for good luck. So hopefully we get luck today and see some bears.
So I think we're going to need this. For the first part of the trip, we're going to be going through the forest and observing, learning more about wild animals and the surrounding areas. And then hopefully by the end of the day, we'll be able to spot a brown bear.
So what you need to know about our area is that all of our forests are open with mud roads like this and rock gravel roads we call macadam like this. That means that our forest is like a web of small mud roads, and we use them for cutting down wood. Animals have adapted to this. Animals have started using the roads because for them it's really, really important, especially maybe for wolves and bear, not to burn too much energy. Because if they go like something like this, up and then down and around, they burn too much energy, and they don't have a fridge at home and a couch to relax. They need to preserve the energy, and they use the roads. And this makes us really easy for us, because tracking, we just follow the roads, search for good mud, and all the animals who came here, we know went here. They didn't go there, they went on the road.
So we've just made it into the forest, close to this town called Morava. We've already seen some footprints just over there.
Many footprints, but the one that just pops out, it's bear footprints, and there's just like crazy amount of them. And maybe if you look closer here, there is a deer footprint. So a red deer footprint, that means a 100+ kilo animal. And if you see, it has sharp edges because they have hoofs and they make sharp footprint. But if you look next to it, to the bear footprints, they're the opposite. They made flattened down areas. And if you come closer, you see the paw part and then 5 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you look even closer, the nails.
Wow.
So, and this footprint, it's an old mud, but we can already know it's fresh. If you have an extra good look, you can see the color inside where he stepped, and outside is different. And then if you maybe zoom out, there is like one footprint here, one footprint here, one footprint here, one footprint here. There's just like crazy amounts of them. During the night, they go all the animals out of the forest to the grasslands, and during the day, they move into the forest, and this is just the road they use in and out daily. That's why we get so much footprints in this area. Look closer again. Bear footprint here, a small bear. There is a fox footprint here, a deer footprint here, a bear footprint over there. Most animals have 2 fingers in the front and 2 in the back, let's say like a wolf or a dog, while the bears and the badgers have 5 fingers like humans.
Michal, is it dangerous like to come alone in the forest in this area, or do you need to take like certain precautions like bear spray, have a knife or anything like that?
So actually it's not dangerous at all. Like chances of seeing a bear just while you're walking are almost close to 0. I'm a lot in the forest, and I see 5 to 10 bears per year without observation, just like normally. But I have seen less than 5 bears in my lifetime walking. So you see most of the bears by car, by maybe even by bicycle, but just by walking, They are so afraid of humans because of the hunting, they always move. Maybe only an area where we are right now could be a little bit dangerous, because the only reason why they attack is if you surprise them, self-defense. And if you see something like this, if you're really quiet walking here, this maybe you could surprise the bear, but in a normal forest you're always much too loud. So if you would never like to see the bear, just make some noise or have a friend with you to talk, or maybe another good thing, make some spray, perfume, whatever. The smell of the bear is just the best. They will smell you immediately.
So that's it, friends. You need three things. First of all, you need this lucky bear thing here to keep you safe. You need to be loud, and you need to have some good Calvin Klein with a strong smell. Well, Miha is down again, so I guess we have some more tracks.
Yeah, this is maybe interesting because this is close to a wolf.
Okay.
It's not a really good footprint, but you can see just the fingers and the nails. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just from the size of it, it could be already the wolf size. But it's actually impossible to tell. This was a giant bear. Just look at my finger going inside his one. This was a really big bear.
Yeah, they do look much bigger than the other ones we saw. Look.
And there's also a rule. Every centimeter, it's 10 kilograms. It's going close to 200 kilogram bear, which is large for this area. Something we need to know about bears, they are 70% plant eaters. That means just normal grass, roots, and most importantly in autumn, berries like this. The bears, they like to eat anything that's sweet, anything that provides them with enough calorie for the winter. 70% plants, 20 to 30% is insect. And that's what we're also gonna find, just ant nest, wasp nest. That's what they search for, because this is the protein, the most important part. And from 0 to 10% is meat. Because it's so hard for them, because there are no predators, they need to find animals that were killed or somewhere died for other reason. That's why it's only from 0 to 10% of their diet is meat. But you have to know something, if they could be the chef, it would be 100%. But that's just 10% is what nature gives them.
Yeah.
We're gonna try this one. They are not good yet, we need to wait for the first drop of temperature below 0, but they're still okay. A bit sour.
Can I try one?
Yeah, sure. Be ready for the sour kick. Vitamin C.
Keep us strong for today.
Yeah. Here is something from far away, doesn't look like much, but this is a typical bear sign, presence of the bears.
Okay.
So if I go closer in, I can see this wood was completely chewed down to, it was destroyed. So if I look closer, you can see there were some kind of ants living inside. That means it had larvae inside, and you can just see how torn apart this, and it's freshly, because old part and the newly destroyed part. So a bear has recently chewed on this piece to get a little bit of larvae or ants out and eat them.
And when you say recently, you're saying a matter of hours or a matter of days, a matter of weeks?
I would say in the last from days to weeks. This is one of the 3 mushrooms everybody knows how to pick in Slovenia, and this one is the one that everybody wants to find. There is also a rule, you can take a piece of it, and if it turns blue or green, then it's poisonous. It's the same family but poisonous, but this one is really nice, I can see immediately. And we're actually gonna take a few of those. I'm gonna cut this down. Yeah, still quite healthy, and this is gonna be a nice breakfast tomorrow. Such a nice flower. This one is a bit more worms, but other than that, yummy.
I'm actually really impressed, because as we've been walking through this first forest path, I was expecting we're gonna have to look for the footprints, but it's literally everywhere. Like wherever we pass, Miha's just been pointing out all the different footprints. There's just so much going on here in this forest. Someone like me, I wouldn't recognize. Obviously I'd see the footprints, and that one of the bear ones looked really big, but for everything else it's quite difficult. So it's so good to have a local here and a guide to kind of point out what the different things are.
Ant nest, bear came here, destroyed it. There's some claw marks here still visible. He just came, tore it apart, maybe chew on this part as well, dig out a hole here for the ants to get them out. Just larva, protein, the most important part of the bear diet.
So the wildlife guides here in Kochevsko also set up these motion cameras all around the forest, so we're just going to go and check one out. When was the last time you checked this one, Miha?
So this one for at least 15 days, nobody checked it.
2 weeks, so we'll see what we find.
Yeah, this is one of them. So that's us. And we want to go back. Oh yeah, so this one we already have a molting goat. Another deer.
Wow, it's a
this
big one, yeah?
Yeah, this is the mating season of the deer, so that's why they're highly active. Water holes are scarce. We don't have a lot of them, so something like this is a big attraction.
Yes, you set it up good. That's
yeah.
why the camera's set up.
Yeah. Wow, this is a beautiful shot. Wow. Crazy. A bear during the daytime. Wow. So it's a big male for sure. He's already quite fat. That means he's doing a good job preparing for the winter. He just continued to walk around. I will try to see the date. Yeah, it's on 29th of so September.
Some quality footage here.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Wow. We just continued walking through the forest and we head out to this viewpoint where you can actually see the Croatian border. Very close actually, we are very close to Croatia at the moment. And as we approach the cliff, we may have had our first bear encounter. We're not really sure because we heard the noise and first we thought it was mountain goats, but it was quite a loud noise. So it could potentially be a bear. Obviously with the trees and everything, we couldn't see what it was, but it definitely was some big animal. Now this walking through the forest has got us quite hungry, so we're gonna head back to the car and grab something to eat before we continue our day.
Our colleagues in hostel prepared this, let's say, picnic basket for us.
That's very nice of them.
Yeah, with local ingredients.
Can imagine there's lots of good food in there.
Good food and also some good drinks. So here is just some our local bread, but the main thing is gonna be inside this basket where we have wild deer salami. We have some cheese from our ecological farm, local forest honey. Honey in Slovenia is really good because the air also affects the quality of the honey, and the air here is just really good. And then we have some of the yogurt from the same cows, herbal iced tea. So we call it like iced tea, but it's made from herbs. And of course we have to finish the evening or the lunch with our local beers. We have the virgin forest and the queen of the forest, which is the biggest fir tree we have in our area. Two different tastes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
After that lovely meal, we got back on the road and drove a few kilometers to another forest nearby. Miha immediately stopped to explain to me about this marking tree.
Bottom to this side, it's usually wild boars that leave the hair. From here to here, it's usually deer, the big one, the red deer, and everything higher, like this here,
Bears.
is bears. Exactly. And quite often, like areas like this or even higher up, you can see claw marks when they're like a cat, they're like scratching. And you get some serious, we had motion cameras here as well, you get just like the typical bear, like scratching the back. And I said, it's not just scratching for that, this is like making a post, sending information about what's happening with me in the recent time.
And what's so interesting is the location of the marking tree in this crossroads here. Obviously we're here today making a lot of noise, so no one's going to come, but I'm sure as the day progresses and the night approaches, more and more animals will pass from here. So as with most animals, the brown bear is mostly visible either very early in the morning or before it gets dark. And that is mainly because of humans. They have adapted. So although they are normally daytime animals, because of human behavior and the fact that they want to try and avoid any form of human contact, they slowly adapted and became more and more nocturnal. So our best chance of spotting a bear is going to be later on this afternoon. But I'm already so excited after seeing all these footprints, the marking trees, and there's so much. Although we haven't seen a bear, I can already feel their presence in this magical forest. And something else which is really interesting is that we haven't seen anyone else at all. So it's really wild here, and not like many other hiking trails where they're packed with people. So this plant is really interesting because, as you can see, there's not much left of it, and you wouldn't believe this, but it's actually a poisonous plant.
A really poisonous plant.
And Miha was just explaining to me that the animals, especially deer, will still eat this, but they know how much To eat without dying. Crazy.
Yes, and the reason they do it is to eat just enough of it to kill all the parasites inside, all the worms and stuff like this, to clean their body and use it as a medical plant. Even though if they would do it wrong, they could die. But they have the feeling how much to eat it.
Worth the risk.
Worth the risk.
And what's it called, this one?
In Latin it's called Atropa belladonna, and in Italian belladonna means pretty lady, because it also has berries, and in the Middle Ages they used to squeeze the girls the berries in their eyes, the juice out of the berries.
It'll be beautiful.
To be the beautiful bigger eyes, to be more attractive. Side effect, if you didn't do it correctly, is partially blindness. So interesting plant.
Our next stop for today is here at Koczewska Reka. Is that right, Miha?
Yeah,
Koczewska Reka, which is one of the only bodies of water actually in the area. And this place is actually special because it is home to the white-tailed eagle. So we've just continued on to another part of the forest here, and this area, well, the whole area here is very popular with lynx, the European lynx. There's about 35 here in this region, and they call them the ghosts of the forest because they're very scared of noises, and even if they are nearby, it's very hard to see them because of the camouflage.
Lynx is unique in many ways. So I said bears and wolves, they use these roads because it's easier for them. But lynx, they don't use it. If you lose the trail of the lynx, it usually didn't go straight, it went somewhere up or down, the hardest terrain possible, because they're ambush predators. That means if they see a prey in their open nice road, it doesn't help them at all. That's why they always use the hardest terrain possible to surprise the animal. And fun fact, they can jump from this position 8 meters. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meters in one jump. This is their ace in the hole. This is the killing jump.
Bloody hell. Hope we don't see one today then.
Lynx, they're professionals. They're really the best. They have 4 small teeth of the cat, and they are specialized of catching small deer, roe deer. And when they jump on it, they usually grab it here or here, and his head is perfect for the neck of the roe deer, and they just squeeze, click, and cut the connection between the brains and the lungs, and then carry and release. And the animal cannot breathe anymore because the connection is cut, and then the animal just falls off. And that's why in history they thought lynx was a vampire, because all they found was 4 little holes in the neck. And who does that? Vampires. Of course they thought so, yeah.
So we've actually reached the edge of the forest, and we can already see there's like a magnificent view here overlooking the mountains and the valleys beneath us. We're just going to hike up a little bit through the forest up these rocks here because we can't really see much because of the trees. So we're going to be heading up over these rocks here. As always, Miha is leading the way. I'm just following. So this is the actual view from the top. So stunning up here. So down there we can see the Kolpa River, and that's where Croatia starts.
Do you see the road in between? It's easy to see that there's like a cut.
Yeah.
So it's on the road.
Could this be our first bear sighting today? So it's definitely a big animal. We don't know whether it's a bear or not. It's either a really big deer, or it could be our first bear sighting. Just lying there, isn't it, on the ground?
Yeah, enjoying the sun.
The area in this direction over here is actually called the Virgin Forest. It's a UNESCO site and it's a protected area, and you can't actually go inside it. So it's just nature and animals.
It's really important for us to realize that nature can do without us. We humans quite often forget that. And it's important to see which tree species grow naturally, how they behaves the forest and all the animals. And it's really important we keep at least few forests like this completely natural. Nobody walking, no nothing. We did get special permission to go inside to do like this virtual view of the forest. So we found like 15 of the best locations. We did it in 4 different seasons so that we can offer people who would like to see what is it inside.
The day was drawing to a close, and as interesting as it was, I still haven't seen what I came to see.
We're
gonna go and visit observation lookout point, about 1 hour I think, Miha, right? So that's our final chance of getting sight of a brown bear here. After all that learning today, all this knowledge that I've gained in regards to the bears in their habitat, I really do want to see one. But in the meantime, we've just stopped at this local farm where they do local food, and yeah, it looks like we're going to be eating again. So Miha, are you still confident that we're going to see a bear? Because it's 4 o'clock now.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen one.
The darker it's get, the higher the chances. Like as soon as the light goes down, the animals just like become active. So for us, even if we're going to be on observation height, half an hour, nothing happens, that doesn't mean anything. The darker it gets, the higher the chances.
Fingers crossed. Very much, thank you. Nice. So we're back in the car and we're going to head about 20-30 minutes away to meet up with a hunter who's going to take us to an observation point, and this is going to be our best chance of seeing a bear. Now, to be honest, I'm not minding this at all. Like, normally I'm driving everywhere, so today I've got Miha driving me about in his official Kochevsko car, so I'm enjoying it. And how can you not with these beautiful views?
The sky is so pretty right now. I wonder if your pretty eyes see.
So we've just arrived on site. We're just waiting for a local hunter who's going to be taking us to an observation hide in about 10 minutes time. And as we mentioned already, this is going to be my best chance of seeing a brown bear in the wild here in Slovenia. Miha said that there's normally like a 90% rate that we see one, and I'm obviously wearing my lucky bear charm as well, so I think that should bring us up to 99%. And Miha just gave me a brief that we can't be making noise because we'll scare off the bears, so I won't be able to talk too much in there, but I'll definitely be able to show you what we're looking at. I'm excited. Chris, nice to meet you.
Almost.
So we've made it into the hide. I'm going to try and be very quiet so that we don't startle off any bears. We can't see any yet, but as I mentioned, we have to be rather silent so that we don't scare them off. Basically, this is the hide. Can normally fit about 5 people in here. Okay, so I'm going to get set up and just a matter of waiting now.
First half an hour, nothing happens because everything is quiet down. Our smell has to like fade away a little bit, and it needs to get a little more dark, and then they start coming. So it's a young bear, around 2 years, around 80 kilos.
It was actually so cool. Definitely a bucket list item ticked off. Thank you very much. Have a good night. That was amazing. Yeah. I can't believe that I actually saw a brown bear in its own habitat. A big thank you to the team here at Kochevsko for hosting us. And honestly, if you ever come into Slovenia, I would 100% recommend giving this a go. It's a brilliant day trip, and I'm going to leave all the links in the description for the program that I did yesterday, and obviously for the Koczewska website, so you can check out all the information about this place. If you found the video interesting, hit the like button and drop a comment and let me know, and we'll see you next week in Croatia.